Cherry Hill is a place of rich silence. Here in New Jersey, the lawns are groomed to perfection, and the neighbors, like Mrs. Ranfield, speak in polite, distant tones. I stood in my living room, looking at the Benin mask Obiora bought for me. Mrs. Ranfield once asked if it was a family heirloom. I told her yes, even though I knew it was a fake, an imitation bought from a vendor in Lagos who probably made 100 more just like it. I realized then that my life was just like that mask. I am a woman filled with an unreasonable hope. I spend 10 months of every year in this grand house, waiting for the 2 months when Obiora flies in to be a father and a husband. I am the sophisticated African wife on display in America, while my real life, the one with the red dust and the noise, is thousands of miles away. I touched my long braids, the ones Obiora insists I keep because they look regal, and wondered if I was just another piece of furniture he had placed here to show off his success. The phone call came while I was thinking about the children's school play. It was Ijemamaka. She didn't even say hello before the poison spilled out. Nkem, oh, have you heard? Obiora has moved a girl into the house on Bellina Street. A small girl, hardly older than a university student. He says he needs her to be comfortable since the house is so empty without you. My heart didn't break. It turned into stone. Bellina Street, our home in Lagos, the place where we first started. While I was here in New Jersey, making sure our children grew up with the right American accents, Obiora was making a new home with an imitation of me. I looked at the microwave, the expensive stove, the sprawling kitchen. I saw my reflection and realized I wasn't a partner. I was a stay-at-home ornament. I felt a sudden, sharp need to scream, but the silence of Cherry Hill wouldn't allow it. I watched Amaechi in the kitchen. She is my house girl, brought from home to help me navigate this foreign land. In Lagos, I would never have looked at her this way, but here, she's the only person who smells of home. I wondered if she knew. Amaechi sees everything, the long nights I spend awake, the way I stare at Obiora's side of the bed. Amaechi, I asked softly, do men ever change? She didn't look up from the ginger, but I saw her shoulders stiffen. Some men change when they see they have something to lose, madam, she replied. In that moment, the class wall between us vanished. We were just two women trapped in a man's world. I realized that my wealth and my American visa didn't make me any more powerful than her. We both lived at Obiora's whim. I looked at the Benin mask again. It wasn't just an imitation of art. It was an imitation of me, hollow on the inside, hanging on a wall for someone else's pleasure. I stood before the mirror. For years, I had worn the clothes Obiora liked, spoke the way he wanted, and stayed in the country he chose. I looked at my long, flowing braids, the sophisticated African look he was so proud of. I realized that the unreasonable hope I had was actually a fear of being myself. I put on my heaviest gold necklace. It felt like a shield. I didn't need to shout to be heard. I picked up the phone and called Obiora. This time, I didn't wait for his excuse about business meetings or Lagos traffic. I spoke with the weight of the red earth in my voice. Obiora, I said, the children and I are moving back to Lagos for good. Bellina Street needs its rightful mistress. I heard his breath hitch on the other end, the sound of a man realizing his imitation life was about to be shattered by the truth. When he arrived a week later, he tried to play the role of the provider. He brought gifts, he spoke of new investments, but I stood by the Benin mask and smiled. He looked at it and then at me, and for the first time, he saw that I wasn't the mask anymore. I am not an imitation of a wife, Obiora. I told him, my voice steady, and I am done living in a plastic dream. The American mansion felt small now, eclipsed by the strength I had found. I am going back to the red dust, back to the noise, and back to a life where I am the original, not a copy. I looked into the camera, into the eyes of every woman, waiting for a man to choose her, and I knew the only person who needs to choose you is you.